So I have removed my wheel well guard by removing all these clips here, which reveals this area back here, and then like this part of it, the inside part, that I plan to add some deadening to. So inside here is where I'm adding some insulation. Whether or not it'll make a huge impact, we will see. But I don't know, this is interesting. Just like we are out here camping, and I haven't made a video in a while of stuff that I've done, but I added a lot of sound deadening material to the wheel well area. I didn't take the wheel off on this side when I did it, but the other side I did, or actually the other way around. But yeah, you just undo all these clips here. There's like some screws underneath, and then this plastic just pops right out. I added sound deadening to the actual inside of this lining, so I stuck it to this part, and then the whole wall here, I added some to that. I was able to take off some of the plastic on this lower part inside and then lift up the carpeting to slide some of the material under there, and then it made a huge difference on our drive. We were on the highway doing 70 and it was like way quieter. We could have conversations. The music was at like 12 on the volume, and yeah, we had no issues hearing each other. And then it started pouring rain, and you couldn't hear anything on the roof. It was just on the windshield. So that was pretty cool to see some nice results there. So I plan on getting a little bit more to add it to the rear wheel. So I think that'll wrap up my sound deadening projects. From Cleveland, Ohio to Allegany State Park, New York, I hit 50 miles per gallon. So even if it was off by 10%, that's still about 47 to 48, I'd say. Not too shabby. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Here we are hiking up a creek high up in the mountains in Allegany State Park. We left the Mazda 3 back at the cabin. Alright, we made it to the, whoa, hey-o, we made it to the to the top of the mountain, of this mountain, and then we're not taking the creek back, we're cutting across the forest to get to a road in the park, so hopefully this doesn't turn into a Blair Witch. Mazda 3 is still at home resting. He called while we were away and said, "How's the hike going?"
We said, don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
You didn't want to go.
Just keep that tank full and be ready to go in the morning. We made it back to the road. Came out of this dense forest.
Just barely.
Yeah, we just barely made it. Made it back to the park. Not too bad of a walk. We're gonna go boating. Got the RX. Sponsored by RX Bars Mint Chocolate.
Mmm.
Headed down to have a fire at the old cabin. Heading back to our cabin now to have a real fire with some actual firewood and not just some paper. And Abby has a stick with her. Not sure why, but maybe to fight off some of these dogs that won't stop barking. We're having a little bark war. cooking some marshmallows.
I'm going to set up a base. I'm going to put all that paper, and then I'm going to put ignition fluid.
Alright, so we are recapping our trip here. We are 945 miles in. Drove from Lexington to Allegany State Park, New York. Now we're almost all the way back, approaching Cincinnati. I'm averaging 43.2 miles per gallon according to my in-dash reading. My first actual fill-up, the actual result was 40.1, and my second fill-up was 44.8, so that's really good for having all this stuff back here. 2 passengers and a puppy. So yeah, it's going good. My sound deadening that I added to the roof and the wheel wells in the front and the front floorboards, I mean, like, it actually was noticeable where, like, I was driving and I'm just like, oh my god, it is so much quieter. I had my radio set at like 12 was the volume, and I'm doing 75 miles an hour, and like, you can still actually hear the radio when it's at 12. Normally it would have to be at like 20 to, you know, to hear it over the road noise. One thing that did happen recently, just before dinner, I noticed I was backing into a parking space and I had it in reverse, and my rear camera, it didn't come on the screen. So I turned the car off, turned it back on, still nothing. So I'm just like, great, software issue, I'll have to take it in. So we had dinner, came out, I tried it again, and there it worked. So I don't know, stuff like that. If it doesn't work once like that, it's probably going to happen more in the future. It doesn't just fix itself. So I'll keep you updated on that.